I'm interviewing Rebecca McDonald from WAR International. WAR stands for Women at Risk. Rebecca, will you tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing with WAR and how it's making a difference?
I'm the president and founder of Women at Risk International, and I had the greatest privilege in the world of growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then at the age of 5 moving as a family. My father was a doctor, and so I grew up in Pakistan, and where he built a humanitarian hospital. And by the age of 14, I had been through 2 wars already, and at the age of 14, my girlfriend, who was 14, was raped during the war and attacked and fought back. And to teach her that she didn't have a voice, she had no right to fight back. And not all Muslim cultures are like that. Please don't think I'm saying that. But in her particular context, she had no right to fight back. And to silence her, they poured acid not in her face, as is usual to this day, but down her throat, and took away her vocal cords forever. And that experience and many others in my life gave me a passion to be the voice of the silence and just wrap arms of love around wounded and give them a safe place where they have wraparound services, trauma-informed, where they can rewrite the story of their life and start over one day at a time and learn to rebuild their life. And so today, Women at Risk International is in 58 countries, including the United States of America, addressing many risk issues, but we are most known for our fight against this century's fastest growing crime, human trafficking. Years ago, Homeland Security called me here in Grand Rapids at our international headquarters here, and they were looking for a 6-month-old pay-per-view live feed on the internet in America of sale and attack of a child. And I learned that day that in the land of the free that I love so dearly, that 300,000 minors, children, your daughter, my granddaughter, children with constitutional rights are at risk. We are the 3rd highest destination country in the world, so we have maybe 17,000 to 20,000 foreigners that are brought to this country and trafficked here, but internally we have a bigger problem with our own children. We have rescued children as young as 1 week old, 3 weeks old, 6 weeks old, 6 months old, and all ages. There are no boundaries to this, and it is the fastest growing crime, growing faster than guns and drugs. And so our passion is to step into this and to train people in the 3 ways that we fight this human trafficking wildfire. We train them curatively, which means we are going to those people in their place of captivity and identifying that they're there against their will, helping them out with wraparound services and helping them put their lives back together, teaching them a trade, helping them go to college if they want, giving them counseling and stitches and childcare and job skills. And I could tell you thousands of stories of women and children who have put their lives back together, and men too. We have 3 safe houses of men. And today are amazing people and have entered into the careers of their choice. And then secondly, we fight it preventatively. You and I want our children to know about evil so they can avoid it. So if we hear that a village is sending 90% of their girls, training them and raising them to think this is what you have to do with your life, we're going to go back to that village and we're going to take a sewing academy or cosmetology or goat herding or mushroom farming and addressing those women who are in the crosshair of the trafficker. Something about their story says they're exponentially at risk. And so 2/3 of our programs are preventative. And so we want to spare them from ever knowing the horror that would have happened to them. And then the 3rd way is supportive. It's what we're doing right here. It's getting the word out. It's giving the message that there is hope and healing. The good news is that this really works. And I have the luxury of hindsight because I've been doing this for almost 4 decades of risk issues and addressing them internationally and also in the United States. And so I can see generational change. I can see 3 generations. It is incredible to rescue one person, see them put their lives back together and rise up and be powerhouses. But when you see 3 generations, that is really systemic change. And so that's what really floats my boat, is to see that not only did we help that family, but we've addressed the issues for all the siblings and that community. Albert Einstein said the world will be destroyed not by evil people, but by good people who see evil and do nothing. And my passion, WAR, Women at Risk International's passion, is to give people practical, hands-on ways to be that circle of protection, to get their antenna up, to know how to respond, how not to respond, how to share this with their circles of influence in an age-appropriate way. And so we do a lot of training, and that's the supportive piece of it. And so I just thank you for being willing to be the voice for our women and help them rewrite the story of their life. Just wrapping our brain around a hard subject, but doing it in a way that sheds light on a dark subject with hope, because there's hope in healing. And there are thousands of stories of happy endings, and we all need to know that. We need to know that we can make a difference, and we can all do something. And so thank you for being the voice of the silenced.